Hello everyone, it's Mallory here with All About Cats. In this week's video, we're going to be taking a look at a litter system that gathers real, trackable insights into your cat's health and sends them to a smartphone app. This litter system is called Toletta. So I'm pretty excited to talk to you guys about this whole Toletta system after trying out quite a lot of types of litter and litter boxes, including a lot of self-cleaning litter boxes. I think that the Toletta litter box is the most powerful product I've tried in terms of health monitoring. There really isn't any match for the Toletta litter box, at least on the US market. And in fact, the Toletta litter box, as of September 2020, is currently only available on the Japanese market. The company is currently gearing up for their US launch, and I got a chance to be among the first people in the United States to give it a try. Now, if you stay tuned until the end of the video, you'll get all the details on how you also could be among the first people in the US to try the Toletta litter system. We're teaming up with Toletta to give 3 of our viewers a free Toletta system. Stay tuned until the end of the video to get all the details on how that's going to work. With that introduction out of the way, let's jump into the review of the Toletta litter system. So there are really 2 things to talk about when we're looking at Toletta. One is the litter box itself, and then the other thing to look at is the whole health monitoring system. So the litter box itself is fairly straightforward, but also pretty interesting. So its design is one that you'll be familiar with if you've used the Breeze litter system. It's essentially set up in exactly the same way. So the litter box has a graded primary tray through which any urine will drop and then be collected on a puppy pad in a drawer underneath. This type of litter system allows you to go without scooping out any urine, and it kind of makes litter box maintenance a bit easier. It's a low maintenance alternative to a traditional litter box. And then we have the health monitoring system to talk about. So the idea behind this is that your cat's litter box provides really important insights into their health. And if you're like most cat guardians, you'll know that monitoring what's going on in your cat's litter box is really important. But looking at clumps in a litter box can't really tell you anything trackable or measurable. If you have multiple cats, it can be particularly difficult to kind of decode those clumps in the litter box, right? So the Toletta litter system gives you real, measurable, trackable data about what's happening in your cat's bathroom. The litter box is equipped with a weight sensor and a camera with facial recognition technology that allows it to detect when your cat's in the box and then send insights to your smartphone app. So when you look at the Toletta app on your phone, you're going to see things like how much your cat weighs, how often they're going to the bathroom, and their urine volume. All of these are really important indicators of your cat's health, and tracking them over time is also really, really valuable. What's more, the Toletta system actually connects to a team of veterinarians. So this team of veterinarians can tell you if anything looks strange in the patterns over time. So that is also really, really valuable. So over the last month or so, I've been trying the Toletta litter system out with Wessie and Forrest, and we've been looking at both its really practical strengths, how well it controls odor, whether or not there's a lot of tracking and scattering, things like that. We've also been trying out the health monitoring system and seeing how well that works. So let's jump into it and see what Toletta can do. So before you get started with the Toletta litter system, you're going to have to set everything up. I found that this process was pretty straightforward. All of the parts just kind of stack. And you also have the help of the setup guide on the Toletta app. So this guide is really helpful, very detailed, and it even includes little check marks so that you don't miss any steps. I found that really helpful. And then once you have everything set up, you're going to have to mount the camera and light so that it's able to identify your cats in the litter box. Then once the main unit is assembled, you're going to have to connect it to your home's Wi-Fi. If you've ever set up something like a Wi-Fi integrated pet feeder or something like that, you're going to be familiar with this process. It's pretty straightforward. Once you have the Wi-Fi set up, you're going to program the Toletta to recognize your cats and add as many cat profiles as you need. And then once you have everything set up, you're going to have to pour in that litter and then add your puppy pad. So Toletta sent a bag of these deodorizing litter beads. It was really novel. They produced a little bit of dust when I poured them into the litter box, but nothing lingering or particularly irritating. The included bag gives you enough litter to fill the Toletta about 1 inch deep. It's not too much for your cat to dig in, and heavy diggers might not quite find it satisfying, but it's certainly enough to cover your cat's waist. Once you've added the litter, you're going to place one of those absorbent pads in the tray underneath. And then it was time for the cats to use the Toletta system. So I found that my cats took to the Toletta litter box right away. Neither of them showed any hesitation using it. Before I go into my experience using the Toletta app and doing some health monitoring from there, I want to go over those basic skills. So first off, how well did the Toletta system control odors? So these deodorizing granules seem to work pretty well in terms of controlling odors. Of course, you're going to have to remove the feces every day, and then I found that I had to change out the puppy pads about once a week. Now, Toletta promises that you should be able to go for about a month on one bag of deodorizing granules. I found that I had to change it out closer to every week in order to keep that odor under control. I'd say that the odor control situation was similar to that provided by the Tidy Cats Breeze litter box, so if you're used to that, I think you're going to feel really comfortable using the Toletta. When it does come time to discard all of the litter, I found that the Toletta litter box makes that process really easy. So for one, these deodorizing granules are really lightweight, which means that you're not going to have to deal with a lot of back strain when you're trying to take out the litter. But another thing is that you can easily lift up those side walls and then just kind of slide out the tray. It's overall a really smooth, straightforward, and tidy process. Now, what wasn't so tidy was the scatter situation. I found that my cats kicked quite a lot of those deodorizing beads out of the litter box, which meant that there was a significant amount outside of the box. And for litter that is supposed to last for a while, I found that there was a lot of waste going on, and it could be difficult to clean it up, considering that I was using this honeycombed mat and those big chunks would get stuck in there. It was difficult to get them out. I overall found that I was wasting a fair amount of litter. That said, there really wasn't any tracking because these beads are so big that they're not going to stick in or on your cat's paws. So that's one good quality of the Toletta litter system in terms of tracking and scatter. Now, having covered those basic skills, so to speak, let's talk about the health monitoring system. So again, the Toletta litter box is equipped with a camera and a really bright light mounted onto the back of the litter box. And this allows it to clearly see when your cat goes into the litter box and to recognize which cat is using the litter box. And this is going to become really useful when it starts transmitting data to the smartphone app. So each log tells you which cat is using the litter box. It includes a video of your cat using the litter box, which was really fun to watch. And it also included some stills from the video so that you could see those highlights. In addition to a video and some photos, each log gave me information about how much my cat weighed at the time, how long it had been since their last trip to the bathroom, and then it also displays information about trends. So it'll tell you if your cat is having more or less urine than they have in weeks past. It'll tell you if your cat's weight is going up and down. And then in addition to this sort of news feed of logs, you'll get several other pages that allow you to monitor your cat's trends over time. So there's a tracking tab, which allows you to see your cat's urine frequency, their urine volume, and their weight over time, which kind of allows you to get a handle on trends. And there's also a calendar tab that allows you to track your cat's general health status over time. Of course, these are broken down by cat, so it's not confusing one cat with the other. You're looking at separate reports for each cat in the Toletta system. So I found every aspect of this health monitoring system to be really interesting and really valuable. Having those frequent updates on Wessie's weight made weight management seem a lot more accessible than it did previously. Another thing that I really liked about this health monitoring system is that it gave me insights that I never would have had previously. I know that my cats are using the litter box a few times a day, but I didn't see a breakdown separated by cat, and I didn't really have a good handle on how many times they were using the bathroom every day. So knowing that Wessie seemed to typically go about 3 times a day, in the morning, after dinner, and in the middle of the night, was really, really interesting. And then towards the end of the testing period, I got to see how the Toletta system could potentially save your cat's life or help you to identify issues a lot earlier than you would otherwise. So one evening, I received an email from someone on the Toletta team saying that they had noticed a sudden change in Wessie's urine volume. Apparently, it had spiked that day. And they said, is Wessie okay? Fortunately, Wessie did seem to be perfectly fine, and after doing some troubleshooting, we concluded that some litter had gotten stuck between the main litter box and the sensor plate, and that was probably the cause of the issue. It was good to know that if something was abnormal, I wasn't just kind of looking vaguely at the litter box and thinking maybe something looks strange, that there was clear, measurable data, and that I had a team of experts at the ready to let me know if something wasn't normal. Now, how much does Toletta cost? So on Amazon Japan, the Toletta litter box cost almost 11,000 yen, equivalent to roughly $100 US. Customers will also have to purchase a subscription to the app. There are a few different options. The basic plan costs equivalent to about $10 US per month, while the premium plan will cost closer to $20 US per month. The primary way in which the premium plan differs from the basic plan is that it gives you access to in-home vet examinations with a network veterinarian. So all things considered, that's pretty economical for the amount of service and insights into your cat's health that you're getting. The unit is also covered by a 1-year warranty. So overall, do I think that the Toletta litter system is worth it? In short, yes. The Toletta litter box allows you to get real, measurable data about what's happening in the litter box, which could prove to be an early indicator of issues like kidney disease or urinary tract disease, diabetes, the list goes on. And considering that Toletta also works with this network of veterinarians to evaluate that data, you really can't beat it. So I don't think that any other product on the market is coming this close to being a real in-home health center. It's not going to replace a veterinarian, and it doesn't replace regular vet visits, but it can give you early indicators of health issues and could definitely save you some money on vet trips and is most certainly worth it in peace of mind. Again, the Toletta litter system is currently unavailable for customers in the United States, but there is an opportunity for you to try it out for free. So if you check out the description, you'll find a link to a short survey, and if you fill it out, you'll be entered into a giveaway. So 3 winners will receive a Toletta litter box, a 1-year supply of pads and litter, as well as a lifetime subscription to the Toletta app. So if you fill out the survey and enter the giveaway through October 31st, you will be eligible to win the entire Toletta system and be among the first US cat guardians to give it a try. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it interesting. Please let us know what you think about the Toletta system in the comments and whether or not this is something you'd be interested in trying with your cat. If you enjoyed this video and you're interested in more product reviews, buyer's guides, and information on all things cats, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you get the news every time we release a new video. Thanks. Bye.